dich auf die Tanzfläche bewegen. Und nun geht es los.
You are listening to Däs Bündesliga Show here on the Lock Betting Podcast. You can follow Lock Betting on X at Lock Betting X. That's at Lock Betting X. On that X account, you can find the monthly profit and loss spreadsheets. The spreadsheet for the previous month is always the pinned tweet. Instead of scrolling down, you can simply head over to lockbetting.com where you can find all the other previous spreadsheets, and you can also sign up for the service. The spreadsheets accumulate to 129 months in a row of transparent and tracked profit. What that means is that I've been undefeated in sports betting for an entire decade, plus an additional 9 months, and we look for month number 130 in a row here in the month of March. If you want to come aboard the journey, simply sign up over at lockbetting.com. If you have questions, the DMs are open at LockBettingX. That's at LockBettingX on X. Let's move on with this edition of Däs Bündesliga Show. We're covering 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. We begin with the game between Bayern Munich and Mons, where Bayern Munich are the 1-4 minus 400 favourites. It's 11-2 on the draw, and Mons are a 10-1 underdog to pick up a victory here at Bayern. Bayern just need to win every single game between now and the end of the season in the Bundesliga and see what happens. They'll need Bayer Leverkusen to get nervous. Ultimately, they'll need Bayer Leverkusen to collapse. But we're only interested in what Bayern do here for this game. There seems to be some sense of normality with Bayern off the back of their midweek Champions League win over Lazio, and they should be able to ride that momentum into this game and see off this Mons team, who have lost their last 3 away league contests. However, Mons have scored away in all 3 of their other matches against top 4 clubs recently, so they may be able to make a contribution towards the scoring, but I have absolutely no doubt as to who will be the winner here, as Bayern Munich have won 9 of their last 10 home Bundesliga matches and coming up against a side who have lost their last 3 league away contests. Bayern know they have shipped 12 goals in their last 6 league games, so that gives even more hope to Mons making that contribution, and we are going to gamble on it. We're going to take a plus money selection as our main play here. We're going to take Bayern Munich to win, and we are going to tack on the BTTS, which gives us a big jump as Bayern Munich are the 1-4 favourites, but that jumps us up to 8-5 for Mons just to contribute towards the scoring, which is plus 160 in US odds. So Bayern Munich and BTTS at plus 160. Another way to go, if you're not confident or comfortable taking Mons, you could just take Bayern Munich and tack on the over 2.5 goals. That is at 4-6 minus 150. Moving on to the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, it's Borussia Dortmund travelling to Werder Bremen, where Dortmund are the 10-11 favourites to win here. It's 3-1 on the draw, and it's 14-5 on the in-form Werder Bremen. Difficult game to call here. Dortmund trying to stay in the Champions League places. They are only 1 point clear at the moment of RB Leipzig. They've actually had some patchy form coming into this one, winning 3 of the last 6. It's similar to Werder Bremen, who've also won 3 of the last 6. But Bremen, they have been moving up the table, And this will be no cakewalk for Dortmund, as the odds already tell you at 10 to 11 minus 110. However, I do think they'll be able to win this game. They do like playing against Werder Bremen. They've only lost one of their last 10 league head-to-head meetings with Bremen. And they are also unbeaten in their previous 7 away games. They also like coming to this ground where they've won 5 of their last 7 trips to the Weser Stadion. So I'm going to take Borussia Dortmund to win once again at the Weser Stadion. They've scored exactly 2 goals in each of their last 3 visits, have won them all. So we're going to ride that data here and say that Borussia Dortmund win again against Werder Bremen, who have lost 2 of their 3 home league games against opponents currently in the top 5. And they're coming off being dealt a blow last weekend by Hoffenheim, who derailed their good form, which saw them moving up the table. And I think Borussia Dortmund could make it back-to-back defeats here in this one. Up next, we move on to the Sunday slate, looking at a couple of games going down on Sunday. We start with a game between Eintracht Frankfurt and Hoffenheim, where Frankfurt are the 21-20 favourites. It's 13-5 on the draw, and it's 12-5 here on Hoffenheim. This is a game that I've circled because I think there will be goals. Over 3.5 goals actually offers up some decent value at the price of 7-4. There have been at least 4 goals scored in 3 of Eintracht Frankfurt's last 5 games in all competitions. And the same is true when you're looking at 4 of Hoffenheim's last 5 away Bundesliga games. So I don't think this should be a huge plus money play. I see these two teams going at each other, and I see there being goals here in this game. The over 2.5 goals is juiced at the price of 8-13, but I'm willing to make the jump up here to over 3.5 goals at 7-4. I also like BTTS with over 2.5 goals tacked on at the price of 10-11, but why not take the risk? I see 4 goals here in this game, and I'm going to take that as my selection at odds just shy of plus 200. The final game we cover is Bayer Leverkusen at home to Wolfsburg, where Bayer Leverkusen are strong favourites to continue their winning ways at 1-3 minus 300. It's 9-2 on the draw, and it's 8-1 here on Wolfsburg. After sitting everybody for the Europa League and allowing yourselves to go 2-0 down to Karabakh, you better win here, and you better win here convincingly. Otherwise, it's showing signs of Xabi Alonso finally starting to make a few wrong decisions as we get to the tail end of the run-in. I think Leverkusen will answer the call, which is unfortunate for us as we're holding futures tickets on Bayern Munich, but on a week-to-week basis, I see the fixtures and I just keep seeing Leverkusen wins. Now, there are difficult games coming up, but I don't think this will be one of them. Wolfsburg are not in good form, especially away from home, where they've lost 7 of the last 12 league away games. And Bayer Leverkusen, they have won 10 of 12 Bundesliga home games this season, covering a minus 1.5 Asian handicap line 7 times in those games. Leverkusen beat Union Berlin 4-0 after their return trip from Azerbaijan to face Karabakh earlier on in the season. So they've made that trip before and have come back and smashed their opponents before. So I don't think there's anything to worry about. They also rested a lot of key players as well. So we're going to take Leverkusen to win, and to win convincingly, we're going to take Bayer Leverkusen to cover a minus 1.5 Asian handicap line here at a price of 10-11, minus 110. Closing out with your lock on the show, we'll keep it simple. We'll take a 2-team moneyline parlay. This isn't going to be the best odds in the world that we've ever had, but ultimately we're here to win money, and the definition of a lock is a selection at value that I cannot see losing. And for that reason, we're going to parlay together Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen, a 1-4 minus 400 favourite, parlay together with a 1-3 minus 300 favourite. If you put those two together, you end up with odds of 4-6 minus 150. As I said, Not the best odds on the planet, not the best odds for a lock that we've ever given out, especially given the fact that you need 2 selections to come to fruition. But tell me where this parlay loses. Bayer Leverkusen are an absolute machine this season. They've been a machine at home. They've won 10 of 12 Bundesliga home games, coming up against an opponent who've lost 7 of their 12 league away games. And Leverkusen sat all of their key players in midweek against Karabag. So they really do need to win this game. Whilst Bayern Munich, they got back on track, winning against Lazio in midweek convincingly. They are still the best team in the league, and they've won 9 of 10 home Bundesliga matches and come up against a Mons team who've lost their last 3 away league contests. That's it for me. Good luck with all of your bets as always, guys, and thanks for listening.